Now guys, before we get started with my season 3 review, I think we should pay some respects to those who we lost. Oh man, Peely. Oh, the Earth Queen. Oh gosh, I'm so tragic. Oh, Tanrock. No, I'm just kidding. But honestly, he fooled me. I really thought he died in this season. What's going on, you guys? James here with another real review, and today we're diving into Season 3 of The Legend of Korra, my review, which yes, has some spoilers, so if you haven't seen Season 3 yet, go ahead and watch Season 3 with me. You can find the playlist right at the top of the screen that has each and every episode and all my reactions for this season of The Legend of Korra. You guys, this season was awesome. There are some things I didn't like, but there are a ton of stuff we're going to get into that I loved about Season 3. Before we get started though, if you haven't already, guys, go ahead and hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, and tap on that bell so you stay up to date with any reactions and reviews for Season 4. Yes, at the end of this, I will not only tell you what the reaction schedule will be like for Book 4, but I will let you know about another video we got coming on Monday. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like this video, get loud in the comments below, and let me know what you think of Season 3. I want to know your review for Season 3. The comment can be short, it could be long. Give me all your insight, and I will try to get to each and every comment down below. Alrighty guys, so let's get right into the obvious, okay? Season 2 was not very good, okay? It was hit and miss. I liked it, but I didn't love it. However, Season 3 is undoubtedly much better than Season 2. I guess Book 3 is entitled Change for nothing. Not only was the animation more consistent, but I felt like the writing was even better because they had a more clear vision for this season. Also, it helps that our villain was much stronger here than Unalaq. Unalaq was not my cup of tea. You guys already know that in my Season 2 review, but Unalaq was not very good. I also feel like they did a much better job at developing our core cast of characters. They did, however, carry over some plot points from Season 2, the very important ones, harmonic convergence, all the spirits, into Book 3. There's a ripple effect here, guys, okay? Season 2 wasn't just a wash, it had a lot of implications for Season 3. But the biggest question you're probably wondering is, do I think Season 3 is better than Season 1? I'll mention that at the end of my review. Alrighty guys, so let's get into it. So if you know me, I like being happy. I like being optimistic about things, and I don't want to start with the negatives. However, there's only maybe 2 negatives that I have about this season that I want to call out. So let's start with those before we get into all the positives. Number 1 is Zaheer being the strongest villain that Korra's ever faced. Stronger than Amon, much stronger than Unalaq. I do think that maybe they didn't develop him as well as they should have. Amon, to me, was fleshed out a little bit more, and we got an even deeper understanding of his backstory. Unfortunately, Zaheer, they give us breadcrumbs all the way up until the final few episodes where we start to learn a little bit more about Zaheer, but I want to know more about Zaheer's past, and we didn't get that. There are some factors at play here, though, when you compare Amon and Zaheer. In Season 1, the creators, of course, didn't even expect to get renewed for Season 2, so they put all the cards on the table. With Zaheer, they probably knew they were getting a 4th season, right, guys? So they didn't want to go ahead and throw everything out. They wanted to save their best for last, hopefully. And the second thing I didn't like too much about Book 3 really was the lack of Asami. Now, you guys know me. You saw it in my reactions. I was calling for Asami. I wanted way more Asami and Korra, but I wanted more Asami solo moments, and we didn't really get that, unfortunately. There were some teases at Asami and Korra's dynamic duo, their friendship and their bond strengthening, and I love that so much. So I really do believe that Asami being a great character, I wanted a little bit more from her in the season. We didn't get those solo moments, but we're getting a little bit of a tease for Season 4. I don't know what it's going to amount to, but I'm excited. Alrighty guys, what you have all been waiting for, what I loved about Season 3. Man, where do we start? I want to touch up on Korra. Her growth here was very evident to me. From the beginning of the season to the end, her character did a 180. So we start off with her, of course, in this series. In Book 1, she's very careless. She knows she's the Avatar. She's ready to show him what's up, and I love that, but the maturity was lacking. Season 2, she's striving to be an individual. She doesn't want Tenzin and anyone over her. She goes with Unalaq, and that was a mess. We know that. She eventually wises up. In Book 3, I think this is her most mature version of herself. However, this is her at her most vulnerable. And we saw that at the end when that single tear came down her face. It was heartbreaking. But you know what, guys? This is the growth of Korra as a character. So I'm wondering, how dynamic will they get with her in Season 4? I think they set it up for a grand finale, and I really hope that they just capitalize and Season 4 lives up to the hype. But zooming out a little bit more and looking at Team Avatar as a whole, I think there are definitely some notable moments we need to talk about. And Bolin and Mako is at the top of my list here because I love the fact that they are brothers again. I know they always were brothers by blood, I get it. But in season 2, it almost felt like they were very distant from one another. Here, their connection is the strongest I think it's ever been in The Legend of Korra. I love their adventures together when they're tracking down Aiwei. You know, you got Bolin pretending to be someone he's not, and Mako as well, but it all is in the name of saving literally the world. But the icing on top of the cake for me when it comes to their subplot was them meeting their grandmother. Not only did I get very close to tear bending, but man, when Mako gives his scarf over to his grandmother, to me, that was him shedding the final layer of who he used to be. Giving it to his grandma and saying, you know what, I'm changed and I'm better for it. Because y'all, not having this love triangle probably did wonders for his character. Also, is it official we're no longer mad at Mako anymore? Alright, I just wanted to make sure. And now moving on to Korra and Asami, and yes, I know we just talked about them, but guys, both of them together on screen only made this season so much better for me. When they're facing off against the Earth Queen and her army, it was fantastic to see them fighting alongside one another. They are such good friends, but it almost feels like their relationship is growing in a certain direction. I'm not predicting anything, but I'm picking up on some body language. And the way Asami spoke to Korra at the end when Korra's looking in the mirror and Asami tells her, you know, you're beautiful and I'm here for you for anything. Talk to me whenever you need. I almost feel like Asami's peeling back a layer of herself and inviting Korra in. Now it's up to Korra to see if she'll also do the same for Asami. So curious about this development. Then there's Lin and Sue. My goodness, guys. First of all, I love Lin. I didn't know I was going to love Sue as much either, but both of them together give this story a different dynamic. I think that their sisterly connection and bond evolving over time this season was really masterful. I thought it was near perfect, honestly, in terms of writing, and it, for me at least, it gave me a reason to kind of relate to Lin in a way, because I get it, being an older sibling, I didn't necessarily feel like maybe I was always treated the same within my family, and I think Lin feels a similar way. Sue was always getting off the hook, right? So I love this between them. But what this also showed was that the writers, they weren't afraid to step away from Korra's story and focus a lot on Lin and Sue. I like that, and I think that this, to me, shows that they're setting up for a final season that's going to give us a proper send-off for everybody. At least I hope. Alrighty, we got a couple more Team Avatar members to talk about, and no, it's not Naga and Pabu. I just wish we saw a little bit more of them too. It's about Kai. Guys, Kai is awesome, okay? He goes from being a little bugger that was a thief and just stealing a ton of gold to actually being a very important member of Team Avatar. He is not only just an airbender who is using it for his own personal gain, I almost feel like he became selfless. And this is a kid who's so young and has already seen so much, and the way he stepped up to help the airbenders whenever Peely was like going and basically trying to kill them was fantastic. Also, are we shipping Kai and Jinora? And speaking of Jinora, we're going to round out Team Avatar with her. Guys, she got her tattoos, y'all. She is going to lead this next generation of airbenders. She is an airbending master. First of all, that moment with her and Tenzin was so great, but it was also bittersweet to see how Korra realizes that maybe, just maybe, the Avatar isn't needed as much as before, and that's a little heartbreaking, but to me it signifies that Jinora is growing right before our eyes, and she's growing a lot faster than I thought she was. I do love the fact that Jinora is a team player and she's willing to also stick her neck out for her people. I think one of you actually let me know that it was very telling how Jinora looked back and was in awe at how many airbenders there were. These are the most airbenders I think that we've gotten in years, right? So this is so beautiful, and she was willing to risk it all just to protect her people and the legacy of her people. That's super important as well. And I'm sure I missed some names, but guys, I promise there's a video coming where we'll go through some of these major characters. Alrighty, so let's move right along to Zaheer and the Red Lotus. Y'all, this is wild, alright? They were crazy this season. I mean, all of our best action moments involved Zaheer and the Red Lotus either facing off against anyone in Republic City, the Earth Queen herself, of course, or Korra, but they were just vital to this season being as great as it was. Now, I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, but Zaheer is clearly the strongest villain that Korra has ever faced. Not only did he master airbending, he took Guru Lahima's advice and literally let go of his earthly tether and flies now. He flies now? But for me, that moment wasn't even the best moment involving Zaheer. I do think when Zaheer is in the spirit world explaining to Korra his intentions, his goals, and how he means to get there, it's just great. And when he was explaining why he wanted to create this new world order, I almost felt like I was empathizing with him. And that's weird, because when it comes to big antagonists, I usually don't see their side, but when it is written properly, when their story is given the time of day, I feel like a lot of villains probably could be related to more often than we think. I mean, look at Black Panther, right? Look at Thanos, for goodness sakes. However, what all three of those have in common with each other, right, is that the means for their goals are just awful. I mean, you should never want to kill a ton of people just to achieve your goal. It's not cool, right? But Zaheer was being selfish, and Korra was trying to get him to realize that in the spirit world, it just didn't work. So that moment is one of the best moments in The Legend of Korra. Another crucial moment with Zaheer and the Red Lotus that I really loved was between Zaheer and Pili. Both of them kind of gave me the feels when they were, of course, I think it was episode 12 if I'm not mistaken, when they were in that cave before they went off and then Pili died. I thought it was so heartfelt, it was touching, you could tell they both love each other still, and then they hugged, and I thought, guys, am I going to cry over these two? But that's the thing, when you start to give them a very human element, you start to see your villains less as villains and a little bit more as troubled individuals that were just really misguided. I was hoping that when Pili died that maybe Zaheer would turn over a new leaf. That didn't happen, and especially at the end when he lost, I figured that boy's going to hang it up, but nope, he's going to go out in a blaze of glory just like Minghua, rest in peace Minghua, and Ghazan, who I didn't really like in this season. To be honest, I think Ghazan is probably the weakest of the Red Lotus members we were introduced to. And what's really great about this season is that our villains don't stop with Zaheer. Man, it goes further than that. You have the Earth Queen and Ai Wei. It's my way or the Ai Wei. Sorry, I love that joke. Hu Ting is one of those antagonists that are just really annoying. They're tyrannical, they're overlords, and what they're doing is they're oppressing their people, so you almost root for them to lose. However, when, Zaheer was lung bending and taking the air out of her literal body, I thought to myself, I kind of feel this is a little too harsh. It was just incredibly shocking, and what it did for me at least, it showed that the writers were willing to take those risks and show us just how evil Zaheer was. Another thing that Season 3 does so well is this final battle. I come to expect an amazing, epic final battle in every single season of any show, whether it be Avatar: The Last Airbender or The Legend of Korra, and guys, this did not disappoint. The animation was beautiful. It even rivals, to me, Ozai and Aang's final battle. Of course, the importance is not there. The scale of that battle between Ozai and Aang is much larger than Korra and Zaheer. But the thing is, Korra's battling her confidence and Zaheer. Isn't that weird to think about? Because at the end of this battle, you start to realize that maybe Korra doubts herself all over again. She couldn't defeat Zaheer without a little help from her friends. These dad jokes have to stop. But seriously, if it wasn't for Jinora and this new generation of airbenders, I don't think Zaheer would have been defeated. If anything, he might have actually killed Korra. So Korra, knowing how vulnerable she became in this season and how close to death and defeat she was, almost shook her to her core. And that's why at the end of the season, you start to realize that, man, Tenzin's saying he doesn't need me anymore, bro. So this final battle brought up new leaders, and it allowed other leaders to grow. Now, for me, if I had to make a prediction, I think Korra is going to need a reality check in the next season. Someone's going to have to step on her toes and be like, girl, you are still the Avatar, snap out of it. But it's going to have to happen gently. Maybe it comes via Tenzin. However, I think it might come via Asami. Also, can we talk about the fantastic transitions between Korra and Zaheer, and then you have Minghua and Mako and Bolin and Ghazan? Those three battles, I don't know how they balanced them so perfectly, but they did. Alrighty guys, so now you know what I loved about Season 3 and what I didn't like too much, so the question still stands. Is this better than Season 1? I need to know what you guys think in the comments below, but my answer is no. Now, I'm not saying it's not a great season of television. It's the closest to Season 1 in terms of quality we've gotten through these 3 seasons so far, but I don't think the writing for our villain was stronger than Season 1. Now, what I really loved about Season 3 overall is that they didn't retcon everything in Season 2. They kept and retained a lot of the major plot points that they needed to keep, which was the harmonic convergence after effects, and the ripple effect that's sent out by having spirits introduced in season 2, and then of course carrying over to season 3. Boomju, what up homie? And of course I have to give credit to the writers for giving us crumbs of Zaheer's past little by little. The only thing is, again, I really do wish that they gave us a solo Zaheer episode. They needed that. I think that maybe you could have spent less time watching Bolin and Asami play a board game and maybe a little bit more time focusing on Zaheer and his past. I know, I hate on that episode a lot, I'm sorry. Overall though, season 3 is an excellent season of television, and of course when it comes to The Legend of Korra, it's right behind season 1. It's given us a ton to talk about ahead of the final season, which I will probably shed a few tears watching because I'm not ready for the final, 12, 13, 14 episodes of Korra. I just don't want it to end. I think Korra is such an amazing lead here, and Janet Varney does a fantastic job voicing her. So I don't know, guys. I still am holding out hope that somehow, some way, this last season lasts forever. But I know it won't. Someone hold me. Alrighty guys, well there you have it. That is my spoiler-filled review of Season 3, The Legend of Korra. If I had to rate it, I would most definitely give it a 4.5 out of 5, compared to Season 1, which was all 5s across the board, and Season 2, which probably gets like 3.5 stars. And if you're wondering who my favorite character is after Season 3, of course Season 1 was Korra, Season 2, Bolin, Season 3... well, I will tell you on Monday. Yes, I'm releasing a tier list of all the major characters and I'm ranking them from Season 3. I'm so excited for that, guys. It's going to be a fun video. We always try to do these after I watch a season of Avatar or The Legend of Korra, so I hope to see you there. And, of course, the announcement you might have been waiting for, guys. First of all, before I make it, thank you for just showing so much love on all of the reactions I put out for Season 3. They have been some of the most highly viewed and highly interacted with videos on this channel, and it's all because of you and your love and support. So what I want to do for Season 4, guys, it's the last season. We got to go out with a bang when it comes to The Legend of Korra and my reactions. So you know what? I'm going to react to every single episode for Season 4, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. Eastern, beginning next Tuesday, October 27th. I'm super excited. So before that, we got Monday, tier list ranking of Season 3 characters. Tuesday, Episode 1 reaction for the final season of The Legend of Korra. And then Thursday, my Episode 2 reaction as well. So guys, I can't wait to do this with you. Again, please try to keep the spoilers out of those comments because you guys have been great about doing so with Season 3, 2, and 1. So I really appreciate that. And yes, I am so excited. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss out on any Korra content moving forward. If you haven't already, like this video and get loud in the comments and let me know your verdict for Season 3. Alrighty y'all, well I need to go work on that tier list and all these reactions for Season 4. I love you. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening.